Hey, welcome to an episode of Chad's Reviews. Hey, I'm actually ready for once. I'm trying to get this. I thought I was ready. I'm just trying to get the phone straight. Anyway, I had a rough day at work, and there's no strong beers in the fridge right now. They're all light beers, like 5% or less. So I stopped at Publix on the way home. Yeah. I picked up a 4-pack of this. New Holland 𝓕𝓮𝓲𝓸𝓷 Solera oak-aged ale. This is 10% ABV. Now, this is not the same as regular dragon's milk. This is, as I'm just going to read, it says, aged in oak casks that once held bourbon and our signature stout. This strong ale is masterfully blended to create a nuanced flavor of caramel, toffee, and fig. The result is an experience made to be savored, 10% ABV. Dragon's milk, you know, and funny because like you hear dragon's milk and you think milk stout. It's actually not a milk stout. In fact, I don't think it's a stout at all. I think it's actually like just an American strong ale or something. And so I'll be curious to see what they're going for on this. I mean, you can just classify this as a strong ale. I mean, it's got that. It matches the body or the bottle with like that burgundy kind of color. I guess you could call that. It's it looks a little hazy on camera, but it was actually pretty clear. It's a little condensation on the glass. It did have a little bit of a head when I poured it. Well, it does not. I will say it does not smell anything like a stout. I mean, looking at it, I mean, you see like it's kind of like a red. It's not a brown or black, so you're not thinking stout or port or anything like that. Oddly enough, it's really not that aromatic. You would think like for just 10% ABV beer, it's probably going to smell something, but slightly fruity, slightly maybe toasted almond, something like that. You tend to get from barrel character, yeah, like a little woody, slight vanilla, but I feel like my sinuses are stuffed, but they're not. Like I should be able to smell something, but I mean, it's just kind of like a slight, kind of fruity, slight fruit, slight woodiness. I will say there is like no alcohol smell, which is nice. I really don't get the bourbon character. So, all right, well, let's dive in, see if the taste is any different. Cheers. Yes, the taste is much better than the smell. I think what they're going for on this is I think they're kind of going for like an American old ale. Old ale is like a really rare style. You don't really see too many breweries doing it anymore. It's like, it's a British style. It's this weird niche style that's like not quite a barley wine, not quite like a British strong ale. It's just it basically is a British strong ale that has been, aged. And this is kind of similar to that. Like the old ales, they have that characteristic burgundy kind of color, like very much like this one. So that's what I think they're going for on here, because they're just brewing a strong ale and aging it in foeders. That's that definitely be indicative of some kind of old ale. Yeah, so like what I was saying on the aroma, there is definitely kind of a fruity flavor going on here. Almost kind of like those Belgian-y kind of flavors, like a cherry, slight raisin. There's like a little bit of like a butteriness to it, or butterscotch. Definitely like a little, like I said, kind of like toasted almonds, slight vanilla. There is like I can detect like a slight bourbon barrel character. It is nowhere near as like in your face as like a KBS or Goose Island or something like that. Yeah, very. Usually when I say nutty, I mean like kind of like a peanut or something, but this is actually more of an almond kind of flavor, almost like a toasted almond, like you would have like kind of some kind of dessert. It's actually pretty rare, but yeah. So it's not quite as in your face as I thought it was gonna be. Usually, when you get a beer like this at your supermarket, you know, it tends to be, you know, kind of on the mild side, even for like a, you know, 10% ABV beer. Although they did have delirium, 𝓕𝓮𝓻𝓮𝓲𝓸𝓷, the pink elephant, the Belgian strong ale, which actually I haven't had in a long time. I thought about getting it. It was $20 for a 4-pack of 500 ml cans, or it was $14 for a 4-pack of 12-ounce bottles, and this is 10%, and the delirium is 8.5. So I thought I'd get this one. Yeah, I am picking up like a slight toffee on this one. Maybe that's, you know, like what I was saying earlier, like butterscotch. Like I think it's more, yeah, it's probably more of like better described as like a toffee kind of flavor. I would not call it chocolatey. I would not say chocolate. Maybe vanilla, but more, yeah, like probably like more toffee or treacle. Again, these kind of like British kind of flavors, which, you know, this is not a British beer at all. It's made in Michigan. By the way, I don't know if you guys can see now that we got halfway down, but the it actually is. Well, I wouldn't go as far as to say like it's straight up clear, but it's not like a super hazy. I think it's probably just chill haze. If we let this warm up, it'd probably be clear. Mouthfeel on this is, you know, you'd think like it's gonna be thick and syrupy. I'd probably call this medium full. It's definitely a thicker mouthfeel than the brown ale from last night or 2 nights ago. Remember that? Yeah, it was last night. Carbonation is probably about medium on this one. Yeah, so it's kind of fruity flavors on here. Yeah, it's almost like those, like I said, like the Belgian flavors without the Belgian yeast. I mean, if it's a oak aged beer, and they did mention bourbon barrels on here, or bourbon casks, aged in oak casks that once held bourbon in our signature stout. So I mean, I guess it was like first it held bourbon, then the stout, then this. So whatever bourbon character was in there was probably got soaked up by the stout that was aged in there. So yeah, look, the bourbon is a real background note on that. You know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of one of those Kentucky bourbon, Kentucky barrel aged beers. You know, like those ones you can tend to find in the supermarket. The Alltech Brewing and Distilling or whatever that one is called. Yeah, this one's not bad. It's just not as good as I thought it was going to be. I remember getting Dragon's Milk way back in the early days of Chad's Beer Reviews, doing a trade with Dan, who had that epic beard out of Michigan. And now I can just get it in the supermarket here in Florida. Although I will say, like, the last time I had it, I just remember it like not being nearly as amazing as it was. It was like only okay. I would say the same thing on this beer. This is only okay. At least like for what it, like this would be a good starter strong ale for somebody that, you know, is like new to craft beer, or, you know, they're just trying to like expand their taste buds, like, you know, maybe Marshall Zukov or something like that is way too strong for them. This one, and again, this is 10% ABV. This is drinking like a 6-7% type beer. It does not seem like a whopper at all. Yeah, great to see you again reviewing ales. Yeah, well, I mean, I have been on and off for a while. Anyway, so final thoughts on the Dragon's Milk Solera. This is, like I said, it's okay. It's definitely better than the brown ale. It's just not. it's just not living up to my expectations. In fact, even if we were going by specs on this one, depending on like I guess, I mean you could say like specialty wood aged beer. What would be the base beer? It's almost like I guess American strong ale, but it's really lacking the hops of like it's not even close. I'm like arrogant bastard. It's just it's kind of this strong ale. Like I said, very very low on the hop side on here. It's just more about the barrel foeder presentation. What is the best beer in your opinion? Oh, I don't know. 𝗕𝗘𝗚𝓃𝓏𝓬𝓻𝓂. So as far as score on this one, I think like 3.5, maybe 3.75. It's just it's like I said, it's fine. It's okay. It's pretty tasty. I'm not gonna have any trouble, killing this. And I still have 3 more bottles in the fridge, and I won't have any problem drinking those either. It's just that it's not like, amazing the way that I thought it was gonna be. So. Yeah, so probably about 3.5 for New Holland Dragon's Milk Solera. I wouldn't be in a rush to go out and get this. I mean, but if you can get it at your local Publix, I mean, it's only, I think it was $13.99 plus tax, so it was like 14 something, almost 15 after tax. But yeah, not bad. Oh, all right, man. I always think I'm gonna wrap these up in like 5 minutes, and it still takes me 12, 13 minutes. But all the way in, you're awesome. Thanks for watching. I will see you around. All right, bye.